Don't insult me by saying that I can equate a baby with a mosquito and just as easily squash a baby as a mosquito. Your God does stuff like that all the time. I won't let you bait me with you're the most horrific blah blah. Massacres have been created by atheistic regimes. That's just a lie. It's just a lie. Hitler, for instance, was a Christian. And do I need to remind you to read your own Bible? Do I need to remind you of what's going on in the Middle East right now? Do I need to remind you of the Crusades? Are you kidding me? Sir, are you kidding me? Even the so called atheistic regimes were not what I would call atheist in the fact that they required a religious devotion, including rituals and sacrifices and dogmas. Those regimes replaced religion with themselves and became state religions. Don't talk to me about how atheists kill. Don't go there. Now you're saying I'm a hypocrite because I don't kill babies and become a mass murderer, because I shouldn't have any morality and nothing matters. Sir, that's your own hate and fear talking. It has nothing to do with who I am or what I believe. I'm not a hypocrite because I choose what I choose and I live my life the way I do. I think you're a hypocrite by thinking there's some sort of objective morality, and if you don't toe the line, and if you don't comply, and if you don't kiss God's ass, you're going to get punished for eternity. That's not ethics and morals. If you're coerced into doing something, if you're commanded to love your Creator, that's being a prisoner. So don't talk to me about who's ethical and moral and what the logical conclusion is. It sounds to me like you're a psychopath that would only conform if you had Big Daddy in the sky threatening to punish you for eternity. That's horrible. Honey, I am an existentialist. I was an existentialist before I was an atheist. In fact, the two are not mutually exclusive or inclusive. You can be an existentialist and be a Christian. Kierkegaard was. He's a perfect example. If it's all absurd, then I get to choose whatever I want, and I choose the Christian path because that's my tradition and my culture. But he chose it. It wasn't forced on him, wasn't crammed down his throat. He chose it. Out of all the other stuff, he chose it. I particularly don't have any much interest in the discipline of Christianity, and I don't like the cognitive dissonance, and I don't like the traditions and the rituals of Christianity. I don't like them. I find them repugnant. They make me a little sick. Don't conflate existentialism with atheism. Son, you're in way over your head. Don't swim in the deep end until you know how to swim. You know what? We don't know how many people religious people have killed because nobody's kept statistics that way. You can point to on the fingers of one hand the number of atheist regimes that have killed millions of people. But in the name of religion, billions of people have been killed throughout history consistently. It's part of the traditions of almost every faith system on the planet. We're so used to it, we don't even keep statistics on it. It's like a dull hum in the background. The people who kill in the name of God? Please. Why not commit suicide? Because, son, I love my life and I'm really enjoying it. I live in abject poverty. I pull my own teeth. I live without running water. I live without fresh food. And I love and enjoy my life. I'm having fun. That's all anybody can hope for. That's all you can ask for. And I choose it. I choose it every day when I get up. Once I've had a couple of cups of coffee and gone to the bathroom. Before that, I'm pretty much just a bumbling mess. That's why I don't commit suicide. And you know what, dude? I have brain injuries. I've survived chronic depression. I have attempted suicide. I have bouts of suicidal ideations all the time. Not like every minute, but every few months it comes up and it's a real issue and it's very seductive. And you know why I don't kill myself? Because I'm free of all that stuff. I am free to choose to live for whatever little span of time I have left, and it's probably not much. And I'm having fun. Doesn't look like you are. Your office is drab and dreary with your big phallic candle and your book of apologetics that I guess you're selling on your website, and your ladies and gentlemen like a snake oil salesman. You don't look like a happy boy, son. You really don't look happy. And you look frantic. You look miserable. So you answer me this. You're a Christian. You're going to heaven for eternity. Sounds boring as hell. You're going to heaven for eternity to praise God and be happy while people are in hell for eternity, right? But you're going to heaven. You're guaranteed. You've got a clear shot. Why don't you commit suicide? You don't care whether my worldview is consistent, whether it matches up with the way we perceive things are. This entire thing was just about you lecturing us about how stupid we are, how deceived we are, how irrational and hypocritical we are. There's no respect in this. The reason it took you an hour to ask 18 questions is because you had to lecture us. And you know what? You didn't convince anybody, not even yourself. Atheism is not believing there is no God. It's non belief in God. I don't have any absolute knowledge of anything. I just don't believe in gods. Now, as to whether I believe there's a God or not, I'm agnostic on that subject. But I'll tell you what, I absolutely do not believe in your God. And you're the spokesperson for why I don't. You're scrambled, you're frightened, you're chasing your tail. You've gone in circles in this video at least a half dozen times. I don't want to live like that. You're an absolute witness for why I won't live like that. My life is not an absolute loss of ultimate meaning and ultimate purpose. My life is a monument to creating meaning and creating purpose with my own two hands, in concert with my own species, standing on the shoulders of giants, collaborating constantly. My life is not some endowment for which I must pay a toll to a creator who will punish me if I don't. My life is a springing into consciousness of a tiny little being who wandered around and found for herself what worked for her. Sir, my life is poetry. My life is dance. My life is composition. My life has so much more depth and breadth than anything you have offered. And you really haven't offered anything except wagging your finger in our faces and telling us how inadequate we are, which is another real good testimony for why not to adopt a faith that is so restrictive and so sad and so narrow and so psychologically damaging. Sir, my life is lovemaking.